Hello everybody, it's Rob Does Everything here, and we're back with another severe weather update. Just real quickly wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope you all got to spend some time with your families and got to be able to enjoy some free time in the holidays, kind of get away from everything. And now we are back into some more severe weather that is on its way. So let's get right to it. We have the Storm Prediction Center here with a slight risk of severe weather outlined by a pretty large marginal. Now this is going to be a setup system. This will be on the 29th, so this will be Wednesday. And this will kind of be a leading system to possibly a higher severe end threat that is going to be coming through afterwards. So we're going to go ahead and go over here and hop onto the models, and I've already prepared some stuff for us. So here we can see this is the dew points. This is the NAM 3K model. We're looking at Wednesday 29th at 21Z. So this is kind of getting around close to dinner time. And you can see the 70-degree dew points just pushing up into the southeast. You've got into Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and you've got mid-60s dew points pushing all the way up into southern portions of Tennessee. So we've got a pretty broad warm sector here, and this is going to be all of the warm moist air that's going to aid in the updrafts of those clouds and really allow the convection of those storms to fire off. Now next thing we're going to go ahead and look at is we're going to go ahead and look at the storm relative helicity here. Again, this is at 21Z, so we're matching up these times perfectly on. So at the same time, we have this very warm, moist, warm sector here. Go ahead and bring it back out to about 21Z. At that same time, we're looking at pockets between 150, 170, even over 200 down here into southern Tennessee. We've got almost 250 in some areas of storm relative helicity. Now what this is this is the 0 to 1 kilometer, so the lowest levels of the atmosphere, the twist, the turn, the helicity of the updraft as it goes up into the storm, so the rotation we have. So we'll go ahead and take a sounding here from northern Mississippi. And you can see in the lowest levels how this hodograph actually loops and then spins back around. And again, hodographs are like taking a top-down slice of the storm. So this is 0 kilometers, 1 kilometer, and then as the numbers count up, we get higher up in the atmosphere. So we can see that actually in the lowest levels of the atmosphere, we do a full loop-de-loop and then zip off. So there's a lot of low-level directional shear. However, a lot of the upper-level dynamics are kind of lacking here. So we'll see. I don't think this is going to play out to be an outbreak, but the National Weather Service calls 6 tornadoes an outbreak. So do I think it's possible that we get an outbreak of tornadoes? Yes, I do think it's possible, but I don't think it's likely, at least with the 29th system. We could see a couple surprises. Maybe all the storms that end up firing become supercellular. Obviously, I'll be doing another update on this as it gets a little bit closer and we get some more info. But as of right now, it looks like this severe threat is going to be mildly conditional. And lastly, we'll go over here to the energy helicity, and this is one thing that's missing. So energy helicity is where we overlap a lot of our ingredients, where we talk about storm relative helicity and also the energy to the storm. So you're kind of overlapping the two. And you can see we've got a pretty good balance down here, pretty much all through the outlined sector that we're talking about here, which is mainly focusing on Mississippi. And definitely, I think if I was chasing on this day, I would probably want to chase sort of central Mississippi south, kind of in this zone. You really want to target where that energy is, because without that energy, you're not going to get enough robust of an updraft. So that is what's coming up on Wednesday, the 29th. And again, it's mildly conditional threat, although the models have uptrended, and I think we could see an outbreak on this. Next thing we're going to go to day 6 on the severe weather outlook. This is January 1st, so we're looking at New Year's Day, right? And we have a much broader area of risk, a much wider warm sector should be in place for this setup, and we'll go ahead and look at the models here. Likely, I think it's within reason that whenever we get to the day 4 range, that we could see a 30% upgrade if we start to get some model agreements. So we're gonna go ahead over here and check out the GFS. So this is on New Year's Eve, the 31st, early in the morning. You can see this trough is starting to come down off the west coast, and we have this closed low just sitting off of California, off of Mexico as well, just sitting in the Pacific. And what happens is sort of similar to the 10th of December, that closed low gets picked up by this trough, which helps to deepen this trough and create a massive area of low-level jet whenever you get sort of these mega troughs. And you can see it really deepens this trough. It drives it south, but you have a lot of shear in place and on the eastern and southeastern side of this. So this whole area here is going to be under the gun for severe weather. And we're lastly, we're going to look at the warm sector here. So this is the 1st of January. This, go back to the 1st. So it actually looks like this current model has trended things maybe a little bit farther west, but we're still looking at quite a broad warm sector on the 1st. We could end up having the 2nd being maybe more of the main show here, but again, we're still pretty far out where it could be the 1st, the 2nd. Either way, in here on these model runs, we can see this is an incredible trough, just a lot of flow on the eastern side of this, which is causing some of that, and you can see gaps in here in this flow, and that could be because storms are firing in this range, taking up some of this shear. So at this time, we've got a broad warm sector, 60s dew points reaching all the way up into Illinois, which is pretty incredible. I mean, and again, I did mention that it is similar to December 10th, that this storm picks up the low off of the Pacific. And the only reason I mention that is because, yes, that is something that happened on December 10th that helped to strengthen that low-level jet, and you have this massive jet axis. So I'm not saying this is necessarily going to be the same situation as December 10th. Obviously, I understand that. I know that these are going to be two completely different events. However, I believe this risk will be much higher because we have a much larger area of low-level jet. We have a much larger warm sector. We even kind of have somewhat of a cold core set up here, more in the north, where you've got a lot of this flow still present up in the north. So this could really play out to be more of an outbreak setup. Even Wednesday could play out to be an outbreak. If 6 tornadoes is an outbreak, I can see Wednesday being a tornado outbreak. But if there is anything that I am more kind of uncertain of, like, oh, this looks like quite the setup, it would be on the 1st, on New Year's Day. We've got a very potent system coming through here, very robust, a large warm sector for this time of year, and this is going to usher in possibly some colder air. We'll finally see a cool down in the eastern and possibly southern parts of the US. But yeah, we really need to be aware, and I'll make sure to keep updating you guys. If you've made it this far into the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm going to be updating you guys on any severe weather events that happen, and if this event ends up being far enough north, I myself will be out there to give you guys that footage. So once again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a happy holidays, whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whatever it may be. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday break, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow for another severe weather update. And peace out, stay safe out there.